And India's External Affairs Ministry has slammed China for arbitrary detention of an Indian citizen from the state of Arunachal Pradesh who was holding a valid Indian passport and were transiting through the Shanghai International Airport. Well, MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal said that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India and that this is a self-evident fact. He added that no amount of denial by the Chinese side was going to change this indisputable reality. The spokesperson added that the issue had been taken up strongly with the Chinese side. The MEA statement emphasized that China's actions were not only a violation of several conventions governing international air travel, but also violated Beijing's own regulations that allow visa-free transit up to 24 hours for nationals of all countries. Well, the issue pertains to the detention of Prema Wangjom Thongdok from Arunachal Pradesh. She had been flying from the UK to Japan via Shanghai in China, where she was detained. Chinese airport authorities held her for 18 hours. She says that they kept telling her that her visa was invalid because China claims the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh as a part of its own territory. The Chinese Foreign Ministry repeated this false claim during its daily briefing, prompting the sharp response from India. Over the years, Beijing has falsely claimed that Arunachal Pradesh, which it calls Zagnan, is Chinese territory. New Delhi has repeatedly rejected it, emphasizing that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India, and no amount of falsehoods from Beijing will change the ground reality. The passenger, Prema Wangjom Thongdok, spoke to WION's Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibbal, while narrating her ordeal. She said a Chinese immigration official singled her out when she was in the immigration queue. She was taken to the desk where passports were checked manually. Pointing to her Indian passport, the immigration official claimed that Arunachal Pradesh is Chinese territory. Later, a second immigration official suggested her to get a Chinese passport.
This year, as soon as I crossed the e-gates and was queuing up at the Shanghai security gates for transferring onto my next flight to get to Japan, one of the immigration officers came to me, took my passport, and asked me to follow her, and basically took me close to, basically taking me back to the e-gates. Just next to the e-gates is the manual counter for immigration. And she went on to say, look at my passport and point at Arunachal and say, Arunachal, not part of India, part of China. And basically that my Indian passport was invalid. Obviously a very confusing moment at that time because I have always used my Indian passport everywhere else. And she refused to accept an Indian passport as a form of travel document. And basically, even between the walk from that part of the airport to the other, the immigration officer, the second immigration officer, was quite rude, and she basically went on to say, why don't you apply for a Chinese passport? We cannot let you go. Your Indian passport is completely invalid.
The incident comes weeks after India and China reached an agreement to resume direct commercial flights and ease visa restrictions, measures intended to stabilize ties after years of strain. The Shanghai episode risks undermining that fragile detent.